So I recently had a conversation with Jeannie, who's one of our industrial engineers, on some of the challenges that she faces when trying to optimize a production line. And one of the key things that she brought up was the time it takes to actually collect the cycle time data, analyze the data, and some of the inefficiencies in actually watching an operator perform their tasks in that data gathering process. And what I wanted to highlight to her and show her was the tools that we've created to really optimize the jobs that industrial engineers can do in the future. So let me dive in and show you what this tool is. So this is Odin Insights, and basically it's collecting data from Odin Workstation, and some of the key data measures that it collects is obviously cycle time related data. So let's have a quick look here. So this is an overview of a production line from from station 20 to 270. And I can see these bars representing the cycle time. So the green bars represent the actual time in the station, and the brown bars represent the idle time. So these are opportunities that we have to reduce the cycle time. What I do know about this line is that station 205 and 215 are actually rework stations, so they don't really matter. But what I can see is here, for example, station 155 is slightly above the cycle time. So obviously an industrial engineer's job is to go and try and investigate what's going on there. And what they would typically do is go onto the shop floor with a cycle time stop clock and try and record a typical process over a period of time, and then try and analyze that. I want to show you a way of how industrial engineers can do that much more effectively and quickly. So let's just use Insights to help us through that. So let me go through and pick station 155, which I'm going to do. And what it does is it shows me very quickly over here on the left hand side the cycle times of the past 8 days, and I can see definitely I'm above the cycle time. What it also shows me on the right hand side over here are the 3 operations that get performed. So check workpiece carrier, diff gauging, and place part onto workpiece carrier. And I also see the cycle times of each of these individual processes. So let me scroll further down. Here's a histogram, and I can clearly see that a very small percentage of parts actually fall within the cycle time. But what's important is that there are obviously parts that are meeting the cycle time. Why are we not meeting the cycle time on the majority of the other parts? So if I scroll even further down, I can see over the last 1 day's production, the green chart representing the actual cycle time that happened over the last 24 hours, and then the brown chart representing the idle time. In other words, the station was waiting, the parts couldn't leave the station for whatever reason. But what is interesting is I see a section over here where I am meeting the cycle time, and it seems to be running pretty stable. There's no idle time and there's no cycle time. So maybe fundamentally the station actually does work correctly. So, but what is causing these spikes? And I can see these spikes in the process. So let's go further into a little bit more detail. And what I can clearly see from this chart, which shows the different operations and their cycle times over the last 24 hours of production, that I've got these red bars, which is actually diff gauging. So let me put my mouse over diff gauging, and I can clearly see that this is one of the potential causes of the cycle time anomalies, so these spikes. And I can clearly see that the blue chart, which is the carrier check, which is a camera check, is also causing a problem. And so as an industrial engineer, I'm able to go really quickly, really deep into the operations, and I can actually spend time in solving the problem. So clearly what I can see over here is the carrier check is a big problem. I can see when the carrier check operation is within spec, or seems to be operating pretty stable, I'm okay. But every now and then I get these diff gauging spikes, which I need to kind of identify. So using Odin Insights, I'm now able to get the information really quickly and rather spend my time on solving the problem as opposed to spending the majority of my time collecting the data. And this is how we help industrial engineers like Jeannie.